Hello and welcome. In today's episode, I'm talking all about Clair Empath, also known as simply empath. The word Clair Empath means clear emotions. If you are the type of person who feels other people's emotions, you feel your own emotions very, very deeply, then there's a good chance that you are an empath. In this episode, I'm going to teach you about all the different signs that you might be an empath, ways that you can utilize your skills to manifest things faster, and also some things to be very aware of so that you can maintain your own vibrational and energetic system to live a better life. If you love everything to do with intuitive development and manifestation, please be sure to subscribe and also hit that bell so that you get notified every time I have a new episode for you. Being a Clair Empath means that you have a heightened sense of emotions. You also receive energy information through your emotions very readily. Every person on this planet has emotions. We all feel emotions. But those of us that are empaths have a heightened sense of emotional awareness. We can very easily pick up the energy and emotions of people in our surroundings, and it's something that we often do unconsciously. We don't always realize that we are picking up other people's emotions. Maybe we feel things and we're experiencing things and we can't figure out where it's coming from. It's probably because you picked it up from someone else. I personally have picked up energy information from people that are sitting on a bus near me, or a shuttle, or walking down the street, and we happen to cross each other without touching. So just know that you don't have to be in exact contact with someone. You don't have to have a conversation with them. You don't have to know what's going on with someone else in order to pick up their vibrations and not even know that you're doing it. This was something that I really had to work very hard on for a while. There was a few months once I understood that this was who I am and how my body operates. I had to become hyper aware of my own emotions and also very aware of what I was picking up from other people. But once I learned how to decipher the difference between someone else's energy and my own energy, things totally shifted for me. I stopped hanging on to vibrations that no longer served me, and I was able to let them go. Every day I was choosing to scan my body, to ask my intuition if I'm holding on to anyone's energy, and then consciously choose to let it go. I actually have an episode all about letting go of other people's energy that every empath should really check out, because it's a skill set that will save your life. And I mean that in the best way possible. You will learn how to manage your own energy so much better if you have the skill set of letting go of other people's energy. I wish I had learned this skill set 30 years earlier than I did. In order to truly understand your psychic abilities and your intuitive abilities, I want to start with a little bit of background to help you understand yourself as an energetic being. Your physical body is always receiving energy information and interpreting it. On a very basic level, your sense of sight, your sense of hearing, your sense of taste, your sense of touch, all of your physical human body senses are just interpretations of energetic information. Your body is receiving a piece of energy and it is transforming that into an impression, into something that you can recognize as something physical and tangible in this world. In order to develop your intuitive and psychic abilities, you are just heightening those senses that you already have. You're opening yourself up and being more aware of all the different subtle shifts on an energetic level. And that is how you are able to receive more psychic information and intuitive information. Psychic and intuitive information is the same. They're just on a varying scale of receiving and interpreting energetic information. Someone who has a higher sense of psychic ability is much more tapped into all the energetic information that they're receiving, whereas I would see someone who's a little more intuitive as just receiving impressions periodically. They are open, they just haven't honed their skill to the same level as someone who calls themselves a psychic. As a child, you are much more intuitive and more psychic, and the reason for that is because you don't have as many impressions about this physical world yet. You don't have language, you don't have these things that create limiting beliefs. But as we get older, often what happens is we are told that intuitive information or psychic information isn't real. We start to discard the information that's coming through from us, and we build these beliefs and these walls about intuition or psychic ability not being real. when in fact that is the most solid, real thing you could experience in your life. If you have been shutting down your intuitive and psychic ability for years, that's okay. You can wake it back up. I went through my own process of kind of shutting out and not believing in the impressions that I was receiving for many years. And then through my 20s, I did a lot of inner work and I started opening myself and learning how to develop this skill set. I have a great playlist that can teach you all about how to develop your intuitive skills even further. When I was very young, I was extremely intuitive, but I didn't understand the intuitive impressions that I was receiving. There was a lot of doubts about what these intuitive impressions were, and sometimes they weren't what I wanted to hear. And so I shut a lot of that out in towards my teens and my early 20s. But then in my mid-20s, I started working with a metaphysician and I got coaching from a psychic to help me open up my intuitive abilities and my ability to manifest things faster. I did a deep dive search into everything law of attraction, got deep into personal development, NLP, deep meditation work as well. And through the deep meditation work and then having some coaches help me to cultivate my skills, I was able to reawaken my intuitive abilities, and now they are stronger than they ever have been before. And now that is what I teach for a living. I have one-on-one clients. I also have an online course and a lot of other free resources like this episode here. In this episode, I'm going to be talking just about one of the clairs, but I want you to know that there are 5 primary clairs that many of us experience and receive psychic and intuitive information from. There's also a couple lesser ones like our sense of taste and our sense of smell. Yes, you can have psychic information come through your sense of taste and smell, but the 5 primary clairs that you might experience are clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, clear sight, where you experience visions. You might experience clairaudience, which is clear hearing, clear sound, claircognizance, which is clear knowing, as if someone just dropped that information straight into your mind out of nowhere. You may also experience clairsentience, which is a physical sensation where you get goosebumps on your arms, chills down your back, aches and pains in your body. And the strongest clair in most people is clairempath, your ability to sense emotions. Whether it's experience and feeling someone else's emotions, whether it's cultivating your own emotions in order to manifest more of what you want. I experience all of these different clairs, most of them on a daily basis, but just know that some people have one clair that is a lot stronger. Some people have 2 or 3 clairs that they experience. Sometimes these clairs can come through multiple at one time. So you may have a vision, experience a feeling at the exact same time, as well as hear a message and a knowing come through. So just know that some of these come in combination. Sometimes you might experience one and not the other, but all of these psychic impressions are available to you. As an empath, you naturally feel emotions a lot deeper than the average person. Some people might put the label on you as being very hypersensitive, extremely emotional. I know for me in my life, I was the type of person that cried a lot. I felt things so deeply. There was just so much sadness and so much emotional trauma that I was holding on to from my past, and it overwhelmed me for most of my life. But as an empath, you can learn how to manage your emotional system and choose what you focus your attention on so that you can manifest more joy, more happiness, and attract positive things instead of holding on to some of the negative vibrations that we have a tendency to do. As an empath, you can also very easily pick up energy information from locations, from houses, from tangible physical objects. You may walk into a room and feel like someone just had a fight in there. Maybe something bad happened there. Maybe someone passed away there, or the people that lived there did a lot of drugs or were very depressed. You're able to pick up energetic information and you receive it through emotional waves. You might also be an animal empath, where you feel like you can read the minds of different animals around you, which I love doing. You might also be a plant empath, where you're picking up energy information and impressions off of the plant world. You may also be a geoempath, which means that when you go to certain cities, certain places in the world, maybe even some of those sacred centers like the pyramids or Stonehenge, you pick up a massive amount of energy information through your emotional system. I love traveling, and that's probably one of the really big reasons why I enjoy it so much. There's such a different energy in every city and every culture you encounter. You're also the type of person that gets really drawn in to character development. So whether it's reading in books, listening to podcasts, or watching movies, you're extremely fascinated by understanding people's emotions. Maybe you're like me, where you grew up and you were so fascinated by your friends and family members that you, in your mind, just wanted to kind of psychoanalyze everyone and understand what drives them, what gets people moving, because you are so aware of and sensitive to people's emotions. This also means that you're really great at picking up and understanding what someone else is feeling and going through. Many of us empaths learn how to speak and act in a way that helps people resolve their conflict. So you might be the type of person that everyone comes to you for advice because you're really good with that kind of stuff naturally. It's your gift. Many empaths go to work as a healer, whether it's psychology, life coaching, social work, charity work, or some place where they're interacting with people and helping to resolve conflict, helping to bring people to a state of peace and healing. You're also the type of person that needs to get yourself motivated, get yourself into a positive state before taking action. It's really challenging for you to do something when you're not motivated to do it. So it's important for you to have strategies that lift you up, things that you do to get yourself into that state so that you can move forward with all of the inspired action that you are meant to take in your life. As an empath, to be a really great manifester, it's extremely important for you to feel like your life is already where you want it to be. To feel from the inside out with every cell in your body that you already have what you want, that you are already living the magical life that you see for yourself, that you already have that soulmate, that you already have the financial abundance, that you're already traveling the world and having the things that you want. You are driven by your emotions. We are all driven by our emotions. It is extremely important for you to focus on joy, for you to focus on creating bliss and happiness every single day. It is absolutely necessary for you as an individual in order to be a truly great manifester, in order to truly draw in the things that you want into your life through the law of attraction. Be extremely aware of how you are feeling throughout the day. Check in with yourself every hour, every couple of hours to notice your own emotions and manage your emotions well. There are a lot of strategies that I can get into in other videos about how to rewire some of your limiting beliefs, but just know that if you're always reaching for an emotion that feels a little bit better, that gives you a little more relief, you are on the right path. Feeling good must be your number one priority. And you need to shift whatever you need to in your life in order to create that. And often it has nothing to do with shifting your external circumstances, although sometimes that can make a really big difference. But I challenge you to look within first, to look within yourself and see how you can cultivate the ideal emotions that you want to create from the inside out. That is your gift, that is your skill set, and when you master that, you can manifest anything in the world. I've created a free guide about all things Clair Empath that you can download in the description below. If you love this video, please give it a like, and then let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or clarifications on anything that I have taught here today. In the next episode, I'm going to be talking all about claircognizance. If you really enjoyed this video, I think you will also enjoy these videos over here. I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if there's anything that I can help you with on your journey.